Gridiron greetings, folks. This is your favorite redacted life mate here, coming at you with another video from an undisclosed location. And today I want to be giving you my preview of the conference championship games taking place tomorrow. Got two games that on paper look like they could be damn good games come down to the wire, but after what happened last weekend, these games might be a letdown in comparison, because let's face it, those games last week were insane, especially, of course, the ending of the Rams-Bucks game, Thank you, Matthew Stafford, for knocking Tom Brady out. And the Chiefs-Bills game, that game was just insane, especially that last 2 minutes. That was just nuts. And also brings into question the overtime rules, which I think they should change to one of two things. Either each team gets one possession or just play an entire quarter. Now, I understand that obviously it's better if they just get one possession each. But can you imagine if they did play another quarter in that game last week with both those defenses being gassed? We could have seen 5-6 more touchdowns in that game because both quarterbacks were on it. And Josh Allen proved, if he had any doubters, he proved them all wrong. And he proved that he belongs on the field with the elite quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes. He absolutely proved that he is the franchise. But that was last week. Let's get to this week. And tomorrow, the first game is the Cincinnati Bengals going to Arrowhead to face the Chiefs. And this game is going to be a tough one to call. I mean, Joe Burrow kind of being a little cocky, talking about this noise at Arrowhead. That's like an SEC game. It's like, dude, you have no idea what kind of noise you're going to deal with in January in Kansas City with those fans. You have never experienced anything like it, and you won't. So we'll see. Hopefully that gets them rattled, because this game here has a potential to be one hell of a shootout, because Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, they're going to hook up. There's no stopping them. Same as with Kansas City and in Kansas City with Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, they're going to hook up. It's like no one can stop that connection. So each team has got a different X factor, and for Kansas City, their X factor, as always, is Travis Kelce. Can the Bengals contain Kelce? Because if Kelce's allowed to get wide open and crazy and everything, then that's just going to open up those deep routes for Tyreek Hill, and it's going to be a long day for Cincinnati. So, Hendrickson needs to get pressure on the quarterback. Always, like I said, pressure the quarterback. They need to make sure they stop Kelce. That should be the first thing on their mind. Stop Travis Kelce. And Cincinnati's X factor is Joe Mixon. Like I said, Jamar Chase is going to get his. Burrow, the dude looks like the real thing. I wasn't sure last year. Obviously, you can't really tell the first couple of years of a rookie quarterback. They could light it up one year, and then they could just completely fall apart. But Joe Burrow is looking like the real deal. That dude can sling it all over the field. And Jamar Chase, he's a total stud. This, like I said, this has a chance. I would not be shocked to see both teams score 30 or more points in this game, just back and forth. The injury issues is Cincinnati's relatively healthy. You got a couple players on IR recently, but they're relatively healthy. They don't have any lingering issues with players. And the Chiefs are pretty good on injuries too. Tyrann Mathieu is questionable with a concussion, although Andy Reid says he does expect him to play. But if for some reason he doesn't play with that concussion, that's huge, because Tyrann Mathieu is basically the straw that stirs the drink for that secondary, in my opinion. And if he's not in there, that could spell a lot of trouble for that Chiefs defense. Luckily, they've got Patrick Mahomes and all those weapons on offense, because it's going to be a hell of a fight. So with that being said, I think we could see a potential shootout. Maybe not as great a shootout as last week with Buffalo and Kansas City, but I say we see a shootout here. And if I had to venture a guess right now to predict who wins, and my predictions aren't great because I believe I was 0-4 last week, so let's see if I do better this week, but I say Kansas City wins. They take the home field advantage comes through for them. They score the most points. They win, I'll say 38-34 Chiefs. That's what I'm saying. But it's going to be a hell of a game. It's going to be a shootout. The Bengals have proved that they are a legitimate team, at least this year. We'll see what happens next year, because then they'll have expectations. And like I told Browns fans this time last year, when they were bragging as if they won the Super Bowl when they beat Pittsburgh, and they're still bragging about it as if they won the Super Bowl. It's like, yeah, they were good this year. Like I said this last year. They had a good season, but let's see what they do next season when there's expectations. Same thing with the Bengals, to see if they can handle the expectations next year. I kind of think they will, because Burrow's a better quarterback than Baker, and Zach Taylor's a better coach than Stefanski. But yeah, that's next year. But this year the Chiefs win. They go to, I believe, the third straight Super Bowl. And then they will play the winner of the next game, which is the 49ers at the Rams. Playing, this is a division rivals, you know what I mean? Always play a good game. This game is more evenly matched than I think. It's really going to come down to which quarterback makes the least amount of mistakes. Because, Jimmy G, let's face it, the 2 games, the 49ers have gotten lucky the last couple of weeks. Some bounces, some plays have gone their way. The defense, don't get me wrong, they played great defense and special teams, and that's what you got to do. And they proved that, especially last week in that Green Bay game. The special teams aspect of football is kind of forgotten, but it's vital to success, as you can see. And after that first drive, they kept Aaron Rodgers in check. Especially, I think they had the defense gave up 48 total yards in the second half. And the weather probably played a factor in that. But Aaron Rodgers is usually not that bad in weather, although he is pretty bad when the pressure's on and it really counts. So, but that's basically what's going to have. They're in SoFi Stadium. There's not going to be any weather issues. So, it's going to come out which team makes the least amount of mistakes. And I'm just not sure which team will, because, Jimmy Garoppolo has played, I guess you could say he's played well enough to win, but he has not played that well in the playoffs. Matthew Stafford, I thought for sure last week he was going to go playoff Matthew Stafford again, but then he just threw that beautiful dime to Cooper Kupp that led to the game-winning field goal. So Matthew Stafford proved he's got the nerves of steel that can make the plays needed to win playoff games if he's got the right players around him, and he does. And his connection to Cooper Kupp, that's deadly. That's as deadly a combination, quarterback wide receiver combination, as Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, or Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill. They're up there. So that's the hell of a thing. Now the Rams need to. Cam Akers has got to work on that ball security, man. 2 major fumbles in the playoffs so far. It hasn't been too good for him. He's looked good otherwise, but maybe that they might lean on Sony Michel a little more in this game. And also, Darrell Henderson, he won't play in this game, but he was designated to return from IR today. So he obviously won't play in this game, but they probably will try to get him back if they win the Super Bowl. And the 49ers, they've got some defensive issues, although Fred Warner doesn't have an injury designation, which is surprising the way that he was looking on that ankle. But he played well last week, and he is going to be fully healthy and go this week. And Trent Williams is questionable with an ankle injury. Now, that's huge. They need Trent Williams on that offensive line. And indications look like he will play, but will he be 100% effective against Von Miller and those edge rushers? They need every player on that offensive line to produce. And Trent Williams is the anchor of that offensive line. So that's going to be a huge factor if he does play. How good is he going to be? How mobile is he going to be? How effective is he going to be coming off the injury? Now, the Rams, the only injury they have is Van Jefferson. A significant injury, anyway. Is Van Jefferson, which he's questionable with the knee. If he doesn't play, that's not a huge loss, but that does take away a potential deep threat who could stretch the field. they still got the resurgent Odell Beckham Jr., but having another deep threat is always a good thing. So Van Jefferson, he can stretch the field and leave it open. So he would be kind of a loss, but that's more of a loss that they can offset. So it's pretty evenly matched game. And weather's not going to be a factor. The 49ers, they're going to play tough, but at the end of the day, I see the Rams taking this game. The Rams are just the better team. They've made the moves over the past year. They've got Matthew Stafford. They've brought in Odell Beckham. They've traded for Von Miller. They've mortgaged a lot of their draft capital for the future on this year, basically. It'll be more years, but they're really all in for this year. And I think they do get to the Super Bowl. They play the second straight year a team plays a Super Bowl in their home stadium in SoFi. So, there you have it. The Rams win that game. So, there it is, folks. The Super Bowl is set. Kansas City versus the Rams. A lot of people probably didn't pick the Rams this year. A lot of people probably had the Cowboys or Tampa. And Kansas City or Buffalo was obviously the favorites in the AFC. The NFC, a lot of people thought the Rams would contend, but they weren't sure if they'd make it. I think they will. I think we see a pretty good game between KC and the Rams in the Super Bowl, but we'll talk about that another time. But hit me up in the comments and let me know what you think. I want you to let me know what you think your predictions are going to be, what your X factors are going to be. Because I always love hearing from people. But I thank you for watching. I hope everybody has a great night, has a great day tomorrow watching some football. Be safe, take care, and I will catch you all in the next video. I'm out.